Let me tell you a secret. I once walked into a meeting thinking I had all the answers. I had the architecture diagram, I had the performance benchmarks. Heck, I even had a color-coded Visio file with a backup slide deck. But the only thing the VP said after my 12-minute monologue was, "So how does this help us hit our next year fiscal target?" That was the day I realized I wasn't in a tech meeting. I was in a business meeting, and I was speaking alien. And if you're an engineer, like I was, chances are you're not being ignored because you're boring. You're being ignored because you are not speaking the language of value. Let's be honest, we engineers live in a world of logic. We debug problems, write efficient code, calculate risk with precision, and never use 5 volts when 3.3 will do. But when it comes to career growth, we rely on hope. Hope someone will recognize our work. Hope our performance review will finally reflect our impact. Hope our manager will magically translate our Jira board into a raise. Spoiler alert, that day never comes. Why? Because while you're optimizing your back-end systems, someone else is optimizing their visibility. They're not smarter than you. They're just better at connecting dots between technology and business. Here's the kicker. Business leaders don't wake up thinking, "I wish I had a real-time Kafka pipeline in my life." They wake up thinking, "How do I reduce churn? How can I hit revenue goals? Why is my customer support queue is so damn long?" That's where the sales engineers shine. They don't just know technology, they know how to make it make sense to people who don't care about technology. Imagine this. You go from being the guy who configures the servers to being the guy who shows the CFO how your solution saves them a $200,000 in support cost. Which one do you think gets invited to more decision-making tables and gets the nicer coffee machine at work? "But I'm not the salesperson," you say. Neither was I. I once preferred Linux CLI over human interactions, sitting in a quiet cubicle. I used to think pipeline was just for Jenkins. But sales engineering isn't about selling in the used car sense. It's about listening. It's about translating and solving. It's engineering with business context. If you have ever explained a technology problem to your grandma using a toaster analogy, congratulations, you have already practiced sales engineering. So what does the path look like? Mindset shift. Start thinking outcomes, not outputs. Business fundamentals. Learn how technology solves profit problems. Communication skills. Speak so non-tech people say, "Ah, got it." Personal brand. Stop being the best kept secret. Real world practice. Build confidence before you leap. And no, you don't need an MBA for sure. You just need a strategy and someone who's been through the messy middle. If anything I said today made you pause, smile, or feel like called out, that's your gut talking. And your gut is right. You have outgrown the terminal window. I have created a full roadmap to help engineers like you become a sales engineer or move into a business focus role without losing your soul or your love for technology. If you are curious, drop me a message or check the link in the description below. We'll talk. No pressure, just clarity. If nothing else, hit the like button so that algorithm knows engineers also have feelings too. See you in the next one.